Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Every Movie Ever podcast. My name is Ben Groves.
And my name is Rob McFarlane. Welcome to the show where two best friends with terrible mental health use films as a distraction and a bit of a mirror for a bit of self-analysis, a bit of film analysis, and a lot of fun.
All the fun.
Given that this is a mental health check-in disguised as a podcast, I should ask you, how are you doing before I get to what are we doing? So how are you doing, Ben?
I'm doing good, man. I'm actually doing,
Yeah?
surprisingly well. Like, my stress is gone.
Right. How's the job?
Yeah, it's good.
Move on.
It's good. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
I have rediscovered my love for 70s exploitation cinema.
Okay, yeah, no, we discussed this being your new autistic special interest. You're going to Rain Man your way through Pangria. Yeah.
I've been doing it, man. I've been Rain Manning my way through as much as possible.
Brilliant.
But yeah, other than that, man, I'm doing all right. I've been doing, long walks with the dog, get my head out in the open, do my stuff, do my little exercises and shit. But yeah, how about you, man?
Yeah, not much going on with me. There's no change. Nothing's changed. I watched two films this week, two very good films. One of which I enjoyed, which is rare. I watched Naiad, which is Annette Bening and Jodie Foster, about a woman who swam from Cuba to Florida at the age of 60.
Wow.
So she's swimming for 50 hours as an endurance marathon swimmer, but she's doing it at the age of 60, and it's just Annette Bening being incredible. And then I watched The Squid and the Whale, which...
that sounds incredible.
It's Lex Luthor and Tim Allen, and it's a coming-of-age story set in the 80s. And as Peter Griffin would very cannily say, it insists upon itself.
Yes.
But we're not doing any of those. We're doing a film about a man with terrible anger issues who can use that violence for good or for terrible evil. I am, of course, talking about Paddy Considine's Tyrannosaur.
Yeah.
No,
that's deeply upsetting.
No. Really, we're back on the Marvel misadventure, trying to figure out how superheroes became a sort of cinematic default. Because today we cover the Incredible Hulk.
Hey,
one of your favorite comic book characters of all time.
Yeah, I mean, this film challenged that. I'm not gonna lie. It was an interesting one.
Okay,
I remember seeing this when I was much younger, and was like, "Oh wow, that's pretty cool." It was better than 2003's Hulk.
Yeah.
Don't you dare pull that face at me, man, because I will fight you in the street.
I think 2003's Hulk ruined this Hulk for lots of reasons that we're going to get into. Because I don't
know how to process this in a healthy way.
I'll tell you. But this came out in 2008, right? This cost $150 million to make.
Where?
Pretty much all. Dude, for 2008, that's a lot of CGI in this film.
Sure.
They were doing it on a Pentium 2. Like, it's not, right?
Sure. Okay. Yeah, fine.
And this was Marvel's backup plan if Iron Man flopped. So remember in...
What? What a fucking backup plan this is.
Right, so remember when...
Just in case the Incredible Iron Man flops, the insanely detailed origin story of Iron Man, in case that flops, we'll back it up with this.
Yeah, so remember in the Iron Man episode, I was talking about how Marvel bet the entire farm of Avengers IP on a bet where they loaned $550 million from Merrill Lynch and said, if we don't give this back to you on time, you've got everything. Yeah. And then we looked at Iron Man, and like we said, very limited script. They weren't sure because he wasn't a AAA character. And they were like, the Hulk. And we'll put an established star in there, like Ed Norton. And thank God Iron Man worked, is all we can say.
Yes. Yeah. I'll agree with that. Because they would have fucking lost everyone.
When did you first see this movie?
I didn't see it in the cinema.
Ooh, okay.
I don't ever remember seeing this in the cinema. I do remember... Yes. I think so. Because it's a forgettable film, but it's a memorable experience. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, I kind of know what you mean.
All right, it's my favorite comic book character of all time. Gets a solo movie with an actual actor.
Yeah.
Who is like, and I don't mean that offensively to anyone involved in Hulk previously. Yeah. I mean it as in Ed Norton is like creme de la creme.
He is. He really is.
You know what I mean? Like he is like, in my eyes personally, he's like top tier.
Yeah.
Incredible actor.
Yeah.
Crazy good actor.
Fight Club. Come on.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Fucking, even in like Birdman. Look at Birdman. That is fairly recent. He's still incredible.
Yeah.
Just as incredible. my favorite comic book character of all time getting a solo movie with an actual actor, and it was like talked about a lot. Obviously, like bear in mind 2008, I've just finished college. We've just met at university.
Yeah, true.
That's an upsetting sentence to say out loud.
I know, right? We
That's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So at that point in my life, I was drinking a lot. I was doing a lot of drugs. As were you.
But then this is why I'm saying, would we have remembered seeing this at the cinema?
No. Yes. I would have remembered the experience.
Right,
I
okay.
think. I would have remembered the experience. I remember seeing Wicker Man in an Amsterdam theatre off my tits on mushrooms. I don't remember a fucking thing about the film, but I remember the feeling it gave me.
Well, for the benefit of those that haven't seen it recently and want a refresher, or those who haven't seen it and have no intentions to ever, shall we do a little plot synopsis?
Sure.
Now, I've written this week's. I know you've not read it.
I've not read it, no.
So I don't mind who goes first. And by the way, if you haven't seen this film and you are planning to, this is the bit where we tell you exactly what happens so that later on in the episode, you know what the fuck we're talking about. It's been out.
So spoiler warning.
Yeah, spoiler warning for a film from 2008.
Yeah. If you're offended, if you're upset by a spoiler in this episode, it's on you.
Yeah.
That's your fault.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy. We love you, but it's on you.
Scientist Bruce Banner is on a quest for a cure after a gamma radiation experiment goes wrong, transforming him into the Hulk, a colossal and powerful green creature. On the run from the US government, particularly the relentless General Thunderbolt Ross, Banner traverses the globe, attempting to stay ahead of those who seek to exploit his abilities. All of this backstory, by the way, is told with wordless flashbacks during the opening credits.
Let's not get into it right now.
I mean, it's the opening credits.
It makes me irrationally angry.
But so what are we flashing back from? Are they just flashes?
Dude,
like
I'm telling you.
It's the start of the film and we're starting with flashbacks.
No, it's the Hulk's origin story film without an origin.
I can make that make sense for you. I know it's made you angry, but please carry on with our...
Irrationally so. We will come back to that. The film opens with Banner having found refuge in Brazil, where he works in a factory.
Yes, he does.
And communicates with an online ally known as Mr. Blue, who provides guidance in his search for a cure. However, Banner's location is exposed. How? We'll also come back to this. Banner's location is exposed when a drop of his blood contaminates a bottle, leading Ross and the military to him. They're desperate to find Banner so General Ross can retrieve data related to the gamma radiation experiment, whether it's PDFs on Banner's knackered old netbook or the DNA in his blood. The fuck is a netbook?
The little tiny laptops that basically had a dog shit processor in them that they were like, but you can access the internet and that's all you need. And it's the size of an A5 folder.
I didn't have the internet until I was 17 years old.
I'm like, dude, this was like a thing we had at uni. Do you remember I had one at uni? It was like this big. And you were like, can you get Ableton on that? I'm like, it can barely run Notebook. Like it's called a netbook and it can barely run TextPad.
Fair enough.
Bruce is chased out of Brazil by Ross's troops, led by Emil Blonsky, a dedicated but aging soldier. He's about our age, so basically already fucking dead.
He's 39. I'm young as fuck compared to that old man.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. So am I.
You're a lot closer to him.
By like 6 months. Banner hulks the fuck out, shit mixes the whole company of troops, and gives Blonsky a seductive stare across the ruined bottling plant. Post-Hulk binge, Bruce begs and hitchhikes his way back to the US and reunites with his love interest Betty Ross, the General's daughter. Their relationship is complicated by the small fact that her father is relentlessly hunting Banner like a crackhead looking for his last rock, and the impassable obstacle of Liv Tyler's complete lack of screen presence or chemistry with Ed Norton.
That tracks.
I think that's the biggest obstacle in their relationship.
There's multiple obstacles there. Bruce, we will come back to it.
What's going on, Bruce?
Stop whispering about everything. Just use your use your words. It's raining, Bruce. Let's drive home. Fuck off. Hulk! On reaching the States, Banner hits up his old pizza place in search of food and shelter. Stupid. Meeting up with Stanley.
Stupid.
Who did not exist in the comics and will never be seen in the MCU again. The guy's 109. How he's literally died.
There's a
after
million
the
and
film
I've got.
ended.
It's a missed goal again. We're setting him up so we can knock him down later. There's a reason I've mentioned him.
I have a point on Stanley.
Ooh.
I have a suspicion on Stanley.
Ooh.
Chin strokey. He also goes past his old work to grab some more PDFs, hook up with Betty, who has a boyfriend, never bothered anyone, including the boyfriend, and have a scrap with the newly super-soldiered Blonsky outside of uni.
By the way, if your theory on Stanley is Pizzagate, this episode's never coming out.
It's not.
Bruce manages to connect with Mr. Blue, hoping for a cure for his Hulk immunodeficiency virus, instead getting a BDSM session of electroshock and a mere postponement of his inevitable transformation. Even
Dude, it's like weirdly tense.
Right?
It's got like a sexual tension to it, right? Like
right?
the second that he's strapped to a table.
I mean, it was...
Liv Tyler's like on him.
You're right.
Bruce, look in my eyes, Bruce. It's okay, Bruce.
Even more concerning, Blue has cloned a few hundred litres of Bruce's blood. Possibly the worst thing to happen to blood since Peter Steele formed the band Typo Negative.
Oh, whoa. Hold on. Wait. Why are you slagging Typo Negative?
They are dog water, Ben. They are dog water. And every time I say I like goth rock, people are like, oh, like Typo Negative. I'm like, no.
No, because it's not shit goth rock. It's mint alt rock.
Ugh.
I'm not getting into this with you.
Chris Cornell just died again.
This.
Anyway.
Fuck him.
It'd be hard to now, but yeah, go for it.
The whole party gets busted by Ross's troops. Bruce and Betty do a runner, and Blonsky uses his Weinstein-like charm to convince Mr. Blue to give him some of the green goo-goo juice. Goo-goo juice?
Go-go juice.
Go-go juice.
Go-go juice.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. Goo-goo juice had questionable connotations.
It's a
It's
Krantz
fine. Yeah. Turning him into a famed Hulk antagonist, Abomination. I was gonna do a Reservoir Dogs joke here, but this film is already too color-coded for my liking, so write it yourself.
Yeah, because Tim Roth famously played Mr. Orange in Reservoir Dogs.
Yes.
He's meeting Mr. Blue, getting the blood from Mr. Green, and I'm like, okay.
No, it's good.
Yeah. The climactic showdown between the Hulk and the Abomination occurs in Harlem, resulting in massive destruction and chaos. The two behemoths clash in a battle that showcases the destructive potential of their powers. Ultimately, the Hulk triumphs over Abomination, saving the city, but choosing to go into hiding rather than face a society that fears him.
Bruce, don't go, Bruce. Banner seeks reconciliation with Betty. Bruce, don't go, Bruce. Acknowledging the challenges their relationship faces due to his condition.
Yeah.
As they part ways, Banner decides to embrace his alter ego and control the Hulk rather than seeking a cure. He realizes that he can use his abilities for good and contribute positively to society.
So to recap, a large group of idiots make a monster and then another monster, and then surprisingly, when the two monsters meet, they have political differences. Oh, and Lou Ferrigno gets a free pizza. That's this film.
Is this why you asked me to sum up the film in one sentence?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm glad.
So I want to ask you, Ben, why you think a solo Hulk movie is so difficult? Because there was the Ang Lee version before this. There was one after this. I've got some reasons, I think. I'm curious to know yours. But before we get into any of that, I do need to say absolutely no Hulk dick jokes whatsoever.
I agree.
It's a white podcast cliche, like two white lads laughing about Hulk dick.
Yep.
I'm just not...
Yeah.
I don't want to...
See, I agree. I think it's a cliche as well. So what I've done is I've made a point about it rather than a joke. So just quickly to get it out there, just before we get into it, right? Betty's had Banner dick. She's had Phil from Modern Family dick. I think there's a chance that she's had Stanley dick.
Absolutely not.
Mate, she walks into that pizza joint like, "Hey, I know you're closed, but can I get a pizza?"
Or they could
Stanley's
just be friends. Please continue with your cutting commentary, Mark Kermode.
Sure, but now she wants the Hulk dick, man. Like the bit in the film, there's moments in this film, right, where they're like about to hook up and his little beeper's going crazy and he's like, "I can't get too excited," and she's like, "What? Not even a little bit excited?" Sorry, one sec, that was too loud. What? Not even a little bit excited? Bitch, you've just seen this dude fucking turn into a massive rage monster, fight a helicopter, and scream at thunder. He hits his head on like a fucking cave and goes mental. And you're like, yeah, I could moan in that ear. Yeah, I could moan in that ear. And what fucking planet is she living on that she thinks that she can take a bazooka nuke blast of Hulk cum? She's a fucking idiot.
Okay.
But I respect it. I respect it.
Sorry. Bazooka
nuke blast
of
Hulk come. Yeah.
Okay, well we've started as we mean to go on, clearly, because there was me with with my insight. Okay, fine. I'll do you one better.
Yeah.
There's a scene in 2008's Incredible Hulk where Bruce Banner accidentally bleeds at the bottling plant that he's working at.
Sure.
And an elderly gentleman drinks from that bottle, and it's said that he had a bad reaction, but we don't see that. We just see him drop the bottle.
Yes.
What could he possibly have done? Because what has he just? Because it's played by Stan Lee. It's one of Stan Lee's early cameos in the universe.
Yeah.
And does he snap the aerial off the TV and turn it into a switch and just start beating his wife? Like, what?
Wow. Okay. My mind. So you went to immediate domestic violence.
Yeah.
Like elderly battery, domestic violence. My mind goes to, he takes a sip, immediately starts melting because of gamma radiation and just becomes a human tumor.
Right, okay.
That was where my mind went to.
I'm still on the sort of domestic, I'm still on the sort of anger problems allegory of the Hulk, He's a nice guy, but sometimes he gets too angry. And I'm like, it's 2008. What are we apologizing for? Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
But you're right. He probably would melt because everyone in this film is an idiot, right?
Dude, don't even get me started on how fucking stupid. The first act in this film is so it's infuriating, like beyond belief infuriating. How does everyone have a fucking PhD but make the most stupid decisions ever?
Yeah.
Stupid decisions ever. You've got Banner, who is like on the run from the government, right?
Yep.
Run from the government.
Walks everywhere,
right? And fucking he can cross borders without an issue, and he just happens to sort of like get around that whole mystery. But then also there's a whole thing of like, I get it's encrypted, but don't fucking email people, man.
There's a bit where he emails somebody at their work address, and the domain name is the address of the university that they're emailing.
Yeah, he's basically the address of the university where this shit happened in the first place. It's I don't get it. Okay, it's fine.
He's
an
idiot.
It kind of makes sense later. I hear it. He is an idiot, but then he's also an idiot for when he eventually meets up with Betty.
Yeah.
And he's walking in the rain, and he's hitchhiking, like the end of the TV show. That was a great little callback. That was fun.
Loved it.
Betty picks him up.
She does.
Drives him back to her house in her car, and then in the morning, he decides to walk to the bus station.
Yes, to get a bus.
Through the university.
Yes.
Where the professor that he's been emailing works, and where his accident happened, and where Betty works. And he's like, well, we'll just walk there in broad daylight. No! She has a fucking car. Just drive.
That professor, Samuel Stearns, known as Mr. Blue, he's a different uni for a start than the one they worked at, right?
Sure.
Otherwise, they'd just be colleagues, right? But
yes, this is exactly.
But it's not just.
I missed that point.
It's not just Banner.
I think I was angry at this point.
General Ross is an idiot. Betty's an idiot. Like, they've been hanging out for about 48 hours when he's like, you should get rid of your phone. I'm like, how is S.H.I.E.L.D. not? Anyway, that's like nerdy chin strokey stuff, right? For me, it's indicative of a larger problem, right? Which it's almost like nobody making this film cared about it because it was a comic book film.
Yes, I'll agree.
They saw Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies had succeeded, and they went to watch some Sam Raimi movies as a reference, and they only watched Darkman. Pulpy, nonsensical, like, it's written like a comic book. And I think in everyone's head involved in this film, that instead of saying comic book movie, they thought cartoon movie, because it's all cartoon logic. And they were like, oh, fuck it, it's just a comic book movie. It's
so condescending.
It's incredibly condescending.
Like, I fucking love the Hulk because he's an incredibly complex character. And Ed Norton does a great job at Banner to an extent.
Right? Yeah, he really does.
To an extent.
He's very different from Ruffalo, but it's a valid alternative choice.
100%, buddy. But fucking, my issue with this film is that they took it like, it's a kid's movie. It doesn't need to make sense. The logic doesn't need to be there because it's comic book. It's fine. But the thing that fucks me off is that when Jon Favreau did Iron Man 1, with our last Marvel Cinematic Universe episode, he respected the source material to a point to like not just fucking throw out a random story that doesn't make any fucking sense. Every tiny meticulous detail is taken care of, and it's done in such an entertaining and endearing way.
Yes,
that it validates us as like you know, growing up with this shit. Yeah, it gave us that whole feeling. This doesn't. It's an insult.
Yeah.
Like the first part of this film is an insult because it's like there's no logic. No. It doesn't make sense. Everyone's a fucking idiot. I know for a fact that Banner's not an idiot. I also know for a fact that Betty's not a fucking idiot because in the comic book universe, they're PhD incredibly geniuses. Clever people. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's where the fuck is that gone?
Later in the same continuity of films, Banner is a respected genius, but in this, he's just getting the bus.
He's walking through a busy university to get to a fucking bus stop. Shut up. You would just fucking drive there in the car that drove you to the place that you're already at. Because that's insane.
Act 1 is like that in this film, though.
Yeah,
there are very few rays of light in Act 1.
There are redeeming facts,
right? Such as
the main one is Hulk versus the army, right?
Oh, okay.
How the army get there, let's not worry about, because that's all fucking mental. And how the army take several minutes to set up in different stations, it's all very fucking confusing. And you're like, I mean, sure, okay, let's just pretend that they arrived in different segments and was just sort of like, oh yeah, okay, oh, the snipers aren't here yet, oh, the cannons aren't here yet, oh, these guys aren't here yet. What?
It's well known military practice that rather than when you have overwhelming numbers, introduce them one at a time.
Yeah,
you know, if you're fighting 1,000 people and you've got 100,000, just send 100 at a time.
Oh, just over a really long period.
Yeah, because that's exactly what happens in that scene. Send this.
It's fucking mental.
Okay, now send this.
Yeah. But hear me out. The fighting is great. Like seeing the Hulk just shit mince a ton of people, go up against a newly fucking formed super soldier.
Yeah.
And just boot him into a tree so that he is literally just a bag of soggy gravel is amazing. It's fucking incredible. That bit, I was like, okay, maybe this is a turning point.
Yeah.
And then it immediately goes back to stupid. Because you've got moments where like the general, what the fuck is his name? General
Ross.
General Ross. Okay, I'm going to call him General Dickbag because he fucks me off so much. He orders all this shit to happen.
Yeah.
And gives zero fucks about his daughter being inches away from the monster that he's trying to fucking destroy.
In the line of fire, yeah. The monster that he created that he's now trying to shoot. And he's just like, sweetheart, could you just stand between us? It really
doesn't
frames...
even fucking do that. It literally doesn't even do that. He's just sort of like... yeah, fuck it, you know, gunship. Yeah, take him out, man. And then the second the gunship starts firing, they're like, oh shit, no, my daughter. Well, silly me.
Are you saying General Ross has early onset Alzheimer's?
No, I'm saying that he's a fucking idiot. Like, just look up. Briefly look up, and there was one other person stood next to a fucking monster.
But I think they should have, for me, I agree with you, Act 1 is nonsense. If they'd introduced Bruce Banner in Act 2, right?
Okay.
So have Act 1 be General Ross and Emil Blonsky, the super soldier, as antagonists, being antagonistic, but chasing we just have the name Bruce Banner, and we watch this man who we've not met be chased like a dog, right? And then in Act 2 we meet him and we get the backstory, not in flashbacks during the opening credits, not any of that. But we humanize him by him just being a human being, right? That's a human being.
You're saying Act 1 is we follow
the antagonist.
Hunting Banner like a dog, right?
Because
with no context whatsoever. We follow those as if to be sort of like, who's good, who's bad, what's he being chased for?
Bruce Banner we get in Act 1 are so slight and so vanilla and so boring that I care about him not at all. There's no charm, there's no humanization, there's very little information. It's just watching a man do things. You could have saved all of that time and had me just relate to him being another human being who's being treated horribly.
Yeah.
And then you could have done the backstory and the how he is and who he is through conversation and dialogue rather than showing me him literally walking to a place and cutting up a flower and Do you know what I mean? Like, it was very dull, and it was time we didn't need spent. You know, he could have told me that. You've got Ed Norton. He can tell me a story, and I will believe him.
Yeah, mate, that is already an infinitely better Act 1 than what we got.
Right, exactly.
My problem with the antagonists in the Act 1 that we did get is that they're too evil too quick. Because let's say we don't understand the flashbacks of the opening sequence, right?
Yeah.
And
we don't understand
have them.
We remove them. We don't need them, right?
Okay, so we don't... exactly, we don't need them.
We don't need them.
I'm getting so angry. I'm so sorry. My fucking pulse rate is at like 175 right now. Do you know what I mean? I'm about to fucking turn green and just weep. Do you know what I mean? I can't control my emotions. I don't get angry. I just cry. So they're too evil too quick, though. Like in your version, they would have had some sort of like depth to them where they leave you and an R in who's good, who's bad. In the one that we did get, they immediately show up in Brazil in the exact favela where he lives for some reason.
Yeah.
Because why would they have his address? Just as a side note, is this a side note to my point? Why would they have his address? Okay. He's not on the payroll at the factory.
I can rebut that, but fine.
Yeah, he's a cash in hand day labourer.
Right.
No one's going to be sort of keeping track of like, 141 Favela Street, top of a little hill.
They are because he's the only white man for 50 miles. Because he's an idiot and he's hiding in the one place that he sticks out like a sore thumb, right?
That's a fucking great point. Hide in Kansas. You would fit in way better in Kansas.
Yeah.
No one would look there.
Yeah.
That's fucking incredible. All right. So that was my side point, right? But my main point is they're too evil too quick. Yes. As soon as they get to the favela, you've got the government agents running around with tranq guns. They're ordered to shoot the Hulk on site, to shoot Banner on site, tranquilize him, get him out, get him gone, right? And all they do is they show up in the favela and they immediately shoot a dog. And I'm like, get fucked. I hope these guys lose. Get hit by cars. I don't like them at all. Fuck them.
Right.
Evil.
But
bad people.
This is why I compared the film to Paddy Considine's Tyrannosaur, right? Because we've discussed it before. My running theory that cinematic shorthand for bad guy is animal cruelty. If you want to tell the audience that this is the bad guy and that they are irredeemably bad, they shoot a dog. Yeah. If you want to tell the audience that they might be saved, then they'll be kind to the dog. No matter how bad they are to people, no matter how awfully they treat people, the moment they shoot the dog is the moment you know that they are a fixed bad guy in the narrative of the film, right? Except in Tyrannosaur.
Yeah. I'll fucking agree, because that's a brutal, upsetting film. We keep mentioning it and it keeps making me sad. What do you think they were trying to tell us in this film when they shoot a dog and then immediately shoot a second dog? Because in my eyes, you shoot one dog and I'm like, oh, you're a cunt. I don't like you. I want you to die. But then if they're like relatively nice to another dog, I'm like, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a glimmer of hope. Fucking shoots him without even question. It's just sort of like a boop, no emotion, no nothing, just done. Well, fuck you then, buddy.
I think all it means is that they lost track in the script revisions and they were like, there's that scene where he shoots the dog, right? They're like, yeah, it's page 12 or whatever. And then they checked, it wasn't on page 12. They're like, oh shit, we better add that in. And then only because they were slightly organized, there weren't 5 dog shootings in this film.
Yeah. They were like, look, we've had to pay every dog.
But here's the thing. I think they were using the cinematic shorthand to go, these are bad guys. And so immediately you go, this is my good guy. These are my bad guys. You know how it's going to go. And then it's just a slog to get there. And I think slog to get there is my main issue with the concept of a solo Hulk movie. So why do you, as a Hulk fan, think that a solo Hulk movie is such a hard thing to make?
It's a hard question, man, because my favorite Hulk storylines are Planet Hulk and World War Hulk. Right? It's an incredible comic book series. They released them as graphic novels as well, so you can read the whole story without all the individual issues.
Yeah.
It's fucking mind-blowingly good. He's sent off into space by the Avengers because he becomes too angry. He's posing more of a threat.
Then he
decide to collectively. So they decide collectively to send him off planet. He ends up on a different planet, entered into like a Roman Colosseum sort of death match thing.
So
he's really fucking good at it.
They used a lot of this in Ragnarok, right? Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, they shit the bed with Ragnarok. And like Taika, I cannot fucking say this man's name.
Waititi.
At all. Taika Waititi.
Take that, Dyslex Luther.
Mate, fuck me, man. That's broken. He did a great job with it of trying to get the storyline in there, and he got it into to a degree. Like, you sort of worked it in with the Thor movie thing, and I was over the fucking moon when I saw that on the big screen. I was like, yes,
at least
finally
there's
getting
some
a glimmer
form
of it.
Yeah.
And then in the back of my mind, I was like, oh my fucking God, is this going to be like a solo Hulk film going into the background of it and fucking covering all the ins and outs of it?
Right.
No, mate. Fucking no. And I don't know why they can't just go, okay, I get it, back in the day, it was tough to do the whole CGI animation stuff. It was expensive. It was big. It was unheard of. Everyone knows the Hulk now. Yeah. Thanks to the Avengers and thanks to the fucking 445 Marvel movies that came out with him sort of in the background. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Hello.
Like, everyone knows him. Yeah. He's just sort of like there and throw a car and then roll credits. Everyone knows him. He's popular enough. I think if he was to do a solo film now, it'd be incredible. Well, I can't answer why they can't just do a decent solo Hulk movie.
Well, there's a couple of... I've got a couple. Because there's business reasons, and then I think there's artistic reasons. The business reasons are that they sold the IP rights to the Hulk to Universal long before they started the MCU. So Ang Lee's version of the Hulk starring Eric Bana with Nick Nolte in it, which played all sorts of fast and loose with the origins of the character, and it was the Absorbing Man was the villain, but the Absorbing Man was Bruce Banner's father.
Hey, let's not.
They had to license the Hulk back from Universal, and Universal still own the Hulk. So they can't make a Hulk movie without it being a Universal Pictures movie, which means Marvel will make none of the money.
We'll just partner up on it, make a fucking banging movie, split it down the middle. Why can't they do what Sony are doing with Spider-Man?
Because from Universal's point of view, they'd much rather sit on the rights so that the Marvel at some point go, just give us money and we'll take him back. It's a different...
Dicks.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. But this is exactly why Marvel Studios was founded. And this is exactly why David Maisel, with the sort of founding of Marvel Studios, was like, well, we can't keep losing our IP to different film studios. None of them are going to make these films unless they own the characters outright. And so the more films we make, the more of our farm we're just letting out the door and going, see ya.
Fine. Fine. I get the business side of it, I guess. Yeah. I'm not happy about it, but I get it. It's
a whole part of the reason they didn't do the origin in this film is because the Ang Lee version didn't come out all that long before this. There's only about 3 or 4 years between them, I'm pretty sure. And so
5 years, isn't it?
5 years, yeah. So the audiences were kind of already primed. They'd already seen the Hulk origin story. And I think they made the right decision to say, let's not go over it again.
But I mean, again, Spider-Man. We've seen that origin story how many times now? Japanese Spider-Man. Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man.
Amazing Spider-Man.
But then they didn't do it.
Tom Holland Spider-Man.
But they didn't do it in the Tom Holland Spider-Man. And I think, again, that was the right choice. Ish.
Yeah, ish is better than a fucking opening credit flashback from nowhere with no explanation as to what the fuck's going on. If you're not paying attention in the opening credits, you're like, oh, okay, so that's the entire origin of how Bruce Banner became the Hulk. Brilliant.
But then I think that origin, so a lot of that origin is based on the fact that they attracted Ed Norton to 2008's Incredible Hulk by basically saying that he could do rewrites on the script. And it was going to be a nearly 3 hour character gritty piece about
give me it.
Like internal struggles, and the opening scene of the film was going to be Bruce Banner walking nearly naked through the Arctic, putting a gun in his mouth, pulling the trigger, and then the Hulk spitting out the bullet. Right?
Incredible. Fucking give me that movie all fucking day long, buddy.
That was cut. It became like a throwaway line that Mark Ruffalo delivers in one of the later Avengers movies.
Yeah, he does.
Because they were like, this is supposed to be PG-13. And we can't, like, the audiences we're releasing this to are not going to sit for 2.5 hours and watch Ed Norton stroke his chin about emotions. So a lot of that footage ended up getting cut down and just put in the opening credits. They were like, well, we've paid for it. We may as well use it.
Fuck's sake, man. This is my problem with the whole not respecting the source material. Like the Hulk is a complex character who struggles a lot with himself, his emotions, who he is.
Yeah.
How does he interact with society? How does he continue living his life after his accident? You know what I mean?
Totally. And I think
it's incredible.
That's why he's such a deep character, because I think the Hulk, more than most superheroes, is one that we can all relate to, with something has happened that I can't deal with and is permanent, and it has made me more easy to anger. It has made me hurt people around me. Like, an incredibly relatable character. But if you want that film...
look at me and you, man.
Yeah.
You've got fucking broken brains and, like, walking around in public and just dealing with your shit out loud. It's not the safest place to do it.
No, exactly. And I
you know what I mean?
There's that sense that, the sort of old phrase, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And I'm like, no, what doesn't kill you makes you scared of fireworks. Like,
or what doesn't kill you makes you ill. You know what I mean? There's loads of stuff out there that's not going to kill you, but it's not going to make you great.
Right. So, great, relatable character. But if you wanted that film, Ang Lee did it. And everyone was nonplussed.
Did he though?
Yeah, man. It's a much slower, much more chin-strokey film. And I think that's my second reason. That's my second reason that this is a hard film to do. Because either it's all action all of the time because it's Hulk, and the cost of having an all CG character in 90% of the movie was way beyond 2008 budgets.
I mean, you say that, but I watched Anaconda the other day, and I found out that to have the snake on screen, it was $100,000 per second to have the Anaconda on screen.
Right, yeah. So that's why they had it for not many seconds, right?
It was incredible. Like Danny Trejo jumping around in like that little cabin at the beginning with the floorboards popping up with literally nothing underneath it. Incredible. That film totally holds up. I'll die on this hill.
Look, they didn't say that the Anaconda didn't have telekinesis, all right? That's perfectly canon.
It just slaps it from a distance.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I talk a lot of shit about this film. It's dull, don't get me wrong. It is dull. But there is a lot to like.
First bit's dull. There's a moment that hits me real fucking hard when Ed Norton and Betty have stopped being like fucking mental for 5 minutes, and you're sort of like, what is happening right now? Like, what is happening? It's the bit where they're on the run, they're trying to get back into the States, and he's transformed once,
right?
And they're trying to meet up with Mr. Blue, and then some of the decisions they're making, I'm like, okay.
Right, these kind of make sense.
Right, I can see where you're going with this. I can see where you're going with this.
Yeah.
But the second that he meets up with Mr. Blue, and Mr. Blue does the whole, is he good? Is he bad? Is he just fucking mental for the sake of being mental? And then he turns out to be quite sinister and selfish and reckless. At that moment, I was like, right. There's a pinnacle point where Mr. Blue is being like fucking chokeholded by the super soldier, like
Emil Blonsky.
Yeah, Emil Blonsky, and he's like, I need you to make me put in me what he has in him. Put it in me. And at that moment, Mr. Blue could have gone and put the antidote into that fucking machine and just wiped Blonsky off.
Because he loves
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's that little bit where I'm like, how are you the most complex character that's happened so far?
So
like,
literally, that's my favorite bit of this film. So Samuel Stearns.
Is it actually?
Samuel Stearns, who plays Mr. Blue, the competing professor.
Yeah.
In the comic, Samuel Stearns is the supervillain, the leader, right? So remember in the comics, the green guy with the massive head?
Yeah.
Right, big Hulk villain. But he's played by Tim Blake Nelson, right? Buster Scruggs.
Yeah. Great actor.
He's the only actor in this film that has anything close to sort of charisma.
I guess so.
And I think because this was going to be a long, gritty adult film, but it got cut down for runtime and to be PG-13, the only thing that really survived unscathed was the comic relief. But within the comic relief, they add that sinister edge.
Okay. So 100% agree with you. The sinister edge in the comic relief is fucking brilliant. But I have just remembered a moment in the film. It's much earlier on. It still logically makes no fucking sense, and it's kind of just shoehorned into the movie. But there is a beautiful moment where Bruce Banner is in the pizzeria kitchen and he's about to leave. And Betty catches a glimpse of him.
Yeah.
And then when she runs outside and he's hiding, he's sort of like cowering away behind a dumpster.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the Hulk that I love. Like right there, that's the Banner that I love. He's terrified of hurting the people around him. He loves those people.
Yeah.
But rather than be around them to show them the love, he's doing what he feels is best in that moment, which is to just fucking remove himself from
space.
the picture. Yeah. Dude, the sacrifice in that moment, I was like, oh, okay, there's Banner. And then immediately back to making no fucking sense. And just walking through University Parks. And then I was like, no, he's gone. No, he's gone. I think that's going to be my favorite part of this movie.
Okay, that's
the bit in the pizzeria.
Okay, I'm annoyed about the pizzeria though because of the character Stanley, who does not exist in the comics and is never used again. Do you know why Stanley is called Stanley?
Is it because of Stanley?
Right. So they have a character called Stanley Lieber, which is Stanley's birth name, playing a kindly old gentleman. To tie the comics into...
Yeah.
They also have actual Stan Lee doing a cameo earlier in the movie. And no one thought, hang about, we could get Stan Lee to play Stanley.
Yeah.
Like, there's just simple things like that. Oh, this guy's an homage to Stan Lee. Oh, that's funny, because he's in tomorrow filming his cameo. Oh, did no one think to ask him if he wanted this part? Nah, fuck it.
He can't do speaking lines.
He
drank that drink. He's now beating his wife with a TV aerial, according to Rob. Or he's a melty tumour, according to Ben.
Coming back to Samuel Stearns for a second there, though, I have good news for you, Ben.
Okay.
So, Captain America Brave New World. New Captain America film coming out, part of Phase 5.
Yes,
Confirmed casting. Tim Blake Nelson as Samuel Stearns, a.k.a. the leader.
Ooh.
Liv Tyler as Betty Ross in her first MCU film since this one.
Yeah, that's fine.
Guess who's playing Thaddeus Ross? Harrison Ford.
Ooh. Okay.
So he's playing the president. He's playing President Thaddeus Ross.
Right.
And
how the fuck did that idiot get elected to president?
You're asking in a post-Trump era, how did General Thaddeus Ross get elected?
I'm going to retract it. I'm going to retract the question. I feel silly. I feel like that's an obvious answer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
However...
We're not pointing fingers here.
Shame.
Not happening.
Shame. However, Tim Blake Nelson is back as the leader. Hopefully...
That's sick.
Hopefully not in a 30-second cameo, although I'm almost certain that it's a 30-second cameo that they've just put in there to generate a bit of promo buzz.
Right, just to tie in this fucking abomination into that universe, right? Rob, I've got a theory about 2008's Incredible Hulk movie.
Okay, hit me. And if this is the pizza guy is Pizzagate, I'm out here.
There's no Pizzagate. There is also no research done on this.
Okay, so this is Conjecture Corner.
Pure conjecture. We're in the forest. Everything exists outside of the forest.
Right. Okay.
I've just been willfully and knowingly ignorant about my research in the approach to this.
Okay, no, I know I like this approach.
Thanks. Okay.
So what's your theory? State your theory for the people, Ben.
In The Incredible Hulk, Bruce Banner is breaking back into the university to try and find some data.
He is.
Right, so he pretends to be a pizza boy. He gets into the computer lab by giving Lou Ferrigno a nice little pizza, and Lou Ferrigno is like, "Go on ahead, brother."
God
and
bless
it's great.
Lou.
I fucking love that guy so much. He's still like chunk as well. You know what I mean? Just
he
nothing
is huge.
But fucking pure beef. There's a kid in the IT lab where Bruce Banner is trying to find his data, and the kid is the same actor that plays the high school teacher in Tom Holland's Spider-Man. So my thing is that he's a student at the university. He then graduates university, becomes a high school teacher, where Tom Holland's Spider-Man then goes to school.
That's a bit of a solid theory. Again,
it's also
unresearched,
probably been discussed multiple places all over the internet. But the point is that you're hearing it first here in 2023.
Good wild spot though, buddy. Do you want to play a game?
I would love to. What are we playing?
Okay, so I'm going to give you a hypothetical situation.
Okay.
And you're going to pick which of the two Marvel superheroes that we've covered so far you would rather have help you in this situation.
I like this game already.
Or Iron Man.
Okay, yeah, hit me with round one of Hulk or Iron Man.
Okay, you have requested time off from your boss.
Yep.
But about 25 minutes after they have verbally approved the time off, they have become bereaved and must now spend a week or two mourning the loss of their family member.
Ooh.
You're now unsure whether you have the time off or not, but you need to get in touch with them.
Right.
You need to figure out whether or not you're free the week after next. Who do you ask for advice? Who do you ask to help pitch in? Who do you ask to come to your aid in a time of crisis like this?
Okay, so this is rough, but I'm going to say Iron Man because Hulk would just be sort of like, fuck it, break your way in there, demand an answer, right? But whereas I think Iron Man would be much more suave and slick with his words about it and just be sort of like, fuck it, just do what you need to do. Do it, then apologize later.
You see, I disagree. I think I would ask Bruce Banner because I think Bruce Banner...
No. This isn't Bruce Banner, Hulk or Iron Man. This is Hulk or Iron Man. You set the fucking rules for this
I
one,
feel like Bruce Banner would have the emotional sensitivity to deal with the situation, whereas Tony Stark could just be like, fuck it.
Yeah, exactly. But if Bruce Banner was a fucking option, that's who I would have chosen too. But unfortunately, Rob McFarlane, what we're playing is Hulk or Iron Man.
Okay, fair.
So, Rob, Hulk or Iron Man?
Iron Man.
Thank you.
Because he just
1 point to Ben.
He just pay my time off. You're cool.
Yeah, of course. He'd just pay for your shift. It'd be done. Yeah. Easy. Okay. You have just found out that your long-term partner, you've moved in together.
Yes.
You have been shopping for engagement rings. You're feeling it. You know what I mean? And this is a big thing for you because I know you're
admittedly, this is very fucking hypothetical for me, but let's go.
Super hypothetical, right? But I need you to
I get it.
The gravity of what it would take for you to get there, right?
Mm-hmm. Terminal illness.
And you or her. Oh, that's not okay. All right. So your terminally ill long-term partner. You're trying to make her happy one last time before she jumps off the proverbial cliff, right?
Arguably, we were dating happy for the first time, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. This is so dark, so quick. Okay, you find out that she has cheated on you by fucking another person, right?
Right.
Do you turn to Hulk or Iron Man for advice on what to do next?
Okay, there's a couple of hypotheticals here because A, not sexually jealous, B, not big into emotional commitment, C, superheroes.
Not sexually jealous, so you're just fine with being cheated on from your long-term terminally ill partner.
You have to be
in the mindset. Rob, there's no fucking stipulations here.
All right, okay.
You're in a place where you're like, I'm going to settle down. This is the one. Yeah. This is the person that has changed me from cynical goth boy, oh, I'm so dark, to a normal, functioning, lovely person. Right. That was so mean. It was so mean and it was so unnecessary. I'm so sorry. You're the most beautiful person that I know.
The Hulk, Ben. The Hulk. But I am giving them your address. Okay. For no reason. For no other reason than this question.
After that comment, I'd expect it. Yeah, I'd expect it. That's fine.
My long-term committed partner could cheat on me and I'd still be angrier at you than I would be at them right now.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. It's called for. It's totally called for. I understand that. But you had two options, right? The Hulk would be, if you're angry about it and you're upset about it, the Hulk would be the best one because all of your anger would dissipate and he'd show you how to deal with it, right? You'd be sitting in a favela in Brazil learning how to breathe with weird fucking whatever.
Diaphragm man, yeah.
Diaphragm man.
The worst superhero.
The worst, right? You can just, he can breathe. Fantastic. Good for you, mate. And then you've got Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, who would just take you out on the town and you'd be like,
no, because Robert Downey Jr.
hookers and strippers.
Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man would be the person she had cheated on me with. So
that's
I'm
understandable.
Absolutely not calling him.
Yeah, no, fair. Oh, yeah. Hi, yeah, Iron Man. Yeah, so it turns out that my long-term partner, fiance, is a bit looser than I thought. She's a bit frivolous with other people. Okay. Really, I'm on my way around, mate. On my way around. Just one sec. I had to clarify because I knew how you were going to take it. You're welcome.
All of this has got to come out.
Absolutely not. This is useless, but it's all staying in. This is all fucking useless. Give me one more.
Okay.
And I'll give you one more.
I don't think we've got time.
All right, then let me give you another one.
Yeah.
I feel like that one got too dark too quick.
Okay,
Would you rather Hulk or Iron Man help you check whether a bump is a hemorrhoid?
Iron Man. He's got technology that far outstrips any local hospital near me. The Hulk has just got massive fingers.
No, that's a good point.
Right.
Yeah, I'd go Iron Man too. All right.
Yeah, there we go.
The game's over, so that was good.
Speaking of Iron Man 2, that's next week. But
Did I win?
then, you won. Ben, what do you rate 2008's The Incredible Hulk, starring Ed Norton, Liv Tyler, and Tim Blake Nelson?
Gonna say 5.
Ooh.
4. It's a 4.
It's a 4. This
4,
is a
man.
low ebb for you, huh?
It's a low one, man. The first act has pissed me off. Banner is just a fucking idiot. Everyone's an idiot. The logic isn't there. Up until a point, the logic isn't there, and then it inexplicably just starts making sense. So yeah, 4. You?
Yeah, 4. And the 4 is the fact that the action scenes are great. I love the Abomination. I think he's done really well. Yeah. Emil Blonsky, I couldn't give 2 shits about, but the actual post-transformation villain is great. I don't like the Hulk. I don't like the fact that he's got 0 body fat and looks like a croissant. I don't like the fact that he's weirdly different color. Really?
I like that. Look at Ed Norton when he's Banner.
Yeah, okay.
He's ripped. He's not big, but he's like fucking ripped, and he looks like he's got next to no body fat on him. So why would the Hulk then just sort of like, why would he turn into a chubby Hulk when he's a skinny Bruce? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I'm just sucker for a dad bod. Time for Comment Corner?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hit me.
So on one of our recent Gran Turismo reels, Steve Bowman got in touch to say, saw it at the cinema. My partner loves David Harbour and said she wanted to go and see it. I cringed at the on-the-nose dialogue, but the racing was all right. And I said, it's so awful. We really struggled with it. And they were like, yeah, it was a struggle. Regretted the trip but for the first hour, but racing picked it up. And at that point, I was like a whole hour just sat there going, what the fuck am I here?
I've got one here from Casey Tebo.
Right, okay.
On our demonic reel, where we discuss the framing choices of Blomkamp and how he kept sort of cutting the tops of people's heads off.
Yeah.
We did our little conjecture corner, being sort of like, maybe it's because they had to be further apart than normal, COVID and all that stuff.
Sure.
Casey writes, the actors were put on A-lists, and as long as they were tested and negative, they were allowed to be next to each other.
Okay.
Which is good insight because Casey is the director of Black Friday.
Oh, no
Bruce
way.
Campbell.
Bruce Campbell.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes. So then I went back to him and said, yeah, this is me desperately trying to justify Blomkamp's weird framing choices to Rob, which he agreed. They are super weird framing choices.
Thank you, Casey. Thank you, Casey. They're super fucking weird.
And if you've not seen Black Friday, go and fucking watch it.
I mean,
it's fun as shit.
It is. I've got a selfish one here, but this is what Comment Corner is for, right?
Yeah, sure.
On a recent TikTok about Iron Man, Davidson Reviews got in touch about the improvisational nature of the film and just commented, source, trust me, bro. As if to say, we don't research or source our shit.
I mean, you do.
Well, I got quite childish. So I posted 1, 2, 3 direct hyperlinks to different news publications reporting the story. Yeah. And they went, well, all actors say that. It's promo. Here's a script. And then linked a script, which I looked at, and it had 15 different revisions, as in 15 new versions of the script printed from the day that filming started.
Oh, so there you go then.
So it is true. It was improvised. And
who said that, sorry?
Davidson Reviews, who mostly sells things on TikTok, like water bottles and whatnot. Which is, no judgment.
Well, Davidson Reviews, trust us, bro.
Trust us, bro. Trust me, bro.
Trust us, bro. Trust me, bro.
That was Comment Corner. If you want to be part of our show next week, find us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. We have a Discord. We post multiple times a day, and we do our best to reply to every comment. And the best ones we read out. So yeah, get in touch. Let us know. Anything you post will directly buzz mine or Ben's pocket, and you can ruin our day or make it with a single send button.
Yay!
That's all the time we've got for this week, right?
That is, unfortunately. Guys, thank you so fucking much for hanging out with us. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. The support from you recently has been chef's
beautiful.
Kiss immense.
It really has been.
You have no idea how much difference you're making to our weeks, to our days, to our fucking lives. So thank you.
Massive.
From the bottom of our hearts.
Join us next week where we are jumping straight in to Iron Man 2, starring...
Is it a back-to-back?
It is a back-to-back because Christmas is coming around the corner.
Christmas episode.
And we got the special Christmas plan, so we had to smoosh Marvel around.
We do.
So join us for Iron Man 2 next week. In the meantime, I'm going to do what society always tells you to do and just tell you to consume while Ben wraps up the themes of this week with a carefully planned and well thought out way of summing up the themes of this movie to thank you for spending an hour of your week, especially at the start of the week with us. And he's going to kick your week off right. While I just tell you to consume.
All right. If you find yourself in a situation where you're angry as fuck and you can't control what's going on, you don't really understand what's going on, but you're sort of like just there's one lesson that we can take away from this film. Just get a fucking weird diaphragm like that dude in Brazil, like the fucking it looks like jelly. It's absolutely fucking rancid. I forgot what I was saying. Don't have a jelly diaphragm is the lesson. I think that's the takeaway, right?